Hi, this is Jim Mann with Homestyle Southern Cooking. Welcome back. Thanks for having me in your home today. We're going to do an all-time holiday favorite. We're going to do gingerbread men today. So that's standard at Christmas time, gingerbread men. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with my dry ingredients. I've got 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to add, I've got 3/4 teaspoons of salt, 3/4 teaspoon of cloves. I'm going to add that in there. I've also got 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, and 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. I'll put those in there. And then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to stir these around and incorporate these all together. Make sure they're all mixed up with my flour really, really well. Okay, my dry ingredients is now ready. So I'm just going to set this aside for just a second. And we'll go over here. I've got my stand blender out, and in this I've got 1 stick of butter that's softened already. To that stick of butter, I'm going to add 1 egg. And then I'm going to blend these together. Next, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of molasses. Molasses is what gives gingerbread men that rich, wonderful taste. Just want to pour, make sure I get all of it in here. Let me get my spatula here and get the rest of it out of here. If you'll notice, it didn't stick very much to the glass. If you'll notice, the glass is sort of empty, didn't stick very much. If you'll take your measuring cup when you're working with gingerbread, working with molasses or peanut butter, and spray it a little bit first with oil, it helps to come out quicker. Now I'm going to turn this on and mix these together. Oh, you should smell the gingerbread. All right, and now the last thing I'm going to add to my wet ingredients is I've got 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I'll pour that in there. And ever so often I'll want to stop it and scrape down the sides and make sure that I've got all the sugar and everything off the bottom, that none of it has stuck to the bottom of my mixer. All right, we'll turn it on one more time to mix a little bit. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to add my dry ingredients. And I'm going to pour it all in at one time. This has got all my spices, and already it's smelling really good with the molasses and all the spices. Okay, now we're going to mix this for a few minutes. We'll start off on low. Okay. Our dough is ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up and we'll do the next step. Okay, I've been scraping down my dough and got all my dough together and it's ready. So I'm going to turn it out onto the table. And it's really solid right now. I'm going to turn my gingerbread out. I've got all of it. A little bit left in the bottom. Don't want to leave any of it behind. So I've got all of my gingerbread out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of push it together in like a little shape, like a ball. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cutter, or you can use a spatula. I'm going to cut it in half and take each half and make like a disc out of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, make a little flat disc for the refrigerator for about 45 minutes. You could cut the gingerbread cookies out right now, but they would be awfully sticky. By putting them in the refrigerator for a half an hour, it makes the dough set up and it makes it a whole lot easier. So I'm just going to fold this over, bring this up, fold this over, that one over, this one over, and there's one nice patty ready to go into the refrigerator. Get the other one up, put it in the middle, try to make another disc shape. Okay, then I'm going to pick up my plastic wrap and I'm just going to fold it over and get this ready to go in the refrigerator too. Okay, I'm going to put these in the refrigerator for about 45 minutes, and I'll be back and we'll make gingerbread men. Okay, I've had my dough in the refrigerator for about an hour, and I've gone ahead and got my pastry mat out and floured it, and now I'm going to unwrap the dough. And we should be cutting our gingerbread men very soon. The dough is a much more solid consistency now than it was before I put it in there. So, okay, I got my dough out and I've got it on a floured pastry sheet. Put a little flour on the top. I'm gonna put a little bit of flour on my rolling pin, and then we're gonna start rolling this out. Now, the thinner you make your gingerbread, the crispier they'll be. The thicker you make them, the more chewier. It all depends on how you like your gingerbread. I like mine sort of crispy, so I will make mine a little bit thinner and leave them in the oven a little bit longer. Just want to roll them out. Oh, it's about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, I think this is just about ready. So I've got 2 cookie cutters. I've got one that's sort of bent up and everything goes from my grandmother's that I've used for years, and a new one that someone gave me a couple of years ago on a coffee mug. So I'm going to take the old big one, and we're going to press him into here, and we'll wiggle him around a little bit so he'll be easier to get up. Then I'm going to take the smaller one, and I'll take it and I'll push him in the dough, wiggle him around a little bit. We'll take another big one, and we'll try to put him right here. Push him in the dough and wiggle him around a little bit. And then we'll take the little one. Maybe I can get one more in here. Let's see. Yeah, I should get one more in there. And maybe I can even get one more little one over here. Maybe not. I think that's about it, but we can reuse our dough over and over again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dough that's here and I'm just going to pull it apart. Take it apart. Move it to the side. Just lift it up from around your gingerbread men. Is all I'm doing, just lifting up the extra dough. And then I'll go under here with my spatula and I'll try to pick up one of these little guys. I'll pick him up, bring him over here, and lay him on my parchment paper. And there's one little guy to go. Now my oven's been heating on 350. Put him up here. I'm going to leave these in there about 14 to 15 minutes. And there'll be sort of a medium crunchiness. If you want them crunchier, I would leave them there longer. If you want them chewier, you might want to just try to leave them in there for 12 minutes. Get this little guy up. We can move him right over here. And we'll get the rest of this dough up. And let's see if we can get this guy up. And we'll put him right here. And then I'll see if I can roll out one or two more to get on here. I'll take our dough, put it right back in the middle, and I'm just going to work it all back together again until I get it into a nice disc shape. Put him down. Once again, I put a little bit of flour on him, put a little bit of flour on my rolling pin, and I'm just going to start rolling this out. Gingerbread has been such a popular cookie, especially gingerbread men, for so many, many years. In Colonial Williamsburg, a lot of children, that's what they got for Christmas. They got a gingerbread man, a big gingerbread man. The Dutch used to do gingerbread in wooden molds. They'd press the gingerbread into the molds. And a lot of the houses, they would actually take and they would do the gingerbread men and put them in decorations, okay? Let's do another large one. Let's push this one right in here. And let's grab a small one. Maybe we can use two small ones here. There's one small one. And there's one small one. Let's start picking up the dough. All right. Let's see if we can get this, well, let me see if I can get this middle dough out of here. The more that you get out of the way, it's easier, of course, the easier it is to pick up the gingerbread men. And that's what I'm trying to do. Okay. Let's see if we can get this big guy up here without tearing him apart. He doesn't want to come loose here. He wants to stay on the mat. Okay, we're going to move him right here. He's going to be like a dancing gingerbread man. Okay, he didn't want to come up too well. All right, we got the smaller one. Put him on here. And let's see if I can make room for one more down at the bottom there. All right, I'll put these in my oven. Like I said, it's been heating for 350 for about 14 minutes. And then I will come back to you. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, our first batch of gingerbread cookies that we made, I took out the oven, put them on the drying rack, and now I'm going to get the second batch out. And I'm going to slide the parchment. That's a good thing about using parchment paper. You can slide it right off onto your cooling rack. Okay, isn't he as cute as he could be? He could just dance along over to your house and say, Merry Christmas to you. I hope you enjoyed this. I sure had fun bringing it to you. Thank you so much for inviting me back and let me share my little gingerbread men with you. They all wish you a very, very, very Merry holiday. And I'll say thank you for letting me come into your home. Have a wonderful week ahead of you. This is Jim Mann in Mexico saying take care of yourself. I'm on Facebook. Find me and like me there and subscribe to me on YouTube. Y'all mean the world to me. You keep me going. Thank you so very, very much. Until next time, God bless.